All right, good evening, everyone. Welcome once more to the Summer Work and Travel Program workshop. Let's confirm if everyone is hearing me. I hope so. If you guys can just comment in the comment section if you're hearing me clearly. We just don't want to proceed with any technical difficulties. So if you guys are hearing me clearly, just comment down below that you're hearing clearly. All right, perfect. All right, guys. So once more, thank you guys for joining us for this evening's summer work and travel workshop. So we're gonna discuss, the summer work and travel program, how it goes. Just to confirm with you guys, my name is Adrian Charlton, and I'm in charge of placement. So everything regarding job placement, etc. I will discuss on that further. And with me, I have Miss Crook, who is the person in charge of recruitment. So Ms. Crooks will talk further about, how the process works, submitting documents, portal, and other important steps, that you need to bear in mind moving forward for the work and travel program. And for the persons who are just joining us, we're going to discuss about registration process. We're going to discuss how to submit documents. We're going to share resources on how to get finances for financing options for the program. We're going to talk about, pretty much the entire process to embark on the work and travel program. All right, guys. So once more, if you have any questions, you can always comment, drop your questions in the comment section below or to the side if you're on YouTube. Just ensure that you ask any questions you would want, and we'll try our best to answer all the questions as best as possible. All right. So stay tuned, guys. All right, guys. So welcome back once more. So let me just give you a rundown of how we will, go through this entire workshop together. And again, guys, for the ones who are just joining us, you can always comment below, ask any questions you want. So firstly, we'll discuss the registration process at ISATS Jamaica. All right. We're going to talk about the timeline, the work and travel timeline. They're very important. There's some very important timeline or steps that you need to take to move on to another stage. So the program itself, it's broken down into different stages. So you must ensure that you fulfill the requirement as per each stages. So we're going to talk about program financing. We're going to talk about making payments to ISATS Jamaica. We're going to talk about document submission, people. We're going to talk about job placement process. We're going to share like different jobs that we have available for this year. We're going to talk about the sponsorship process. So you know that on the J1 program, you are provided with a job. So we're going to talk about the job placement process, how it works. So for all the persons who are just or who haven't gotten a chance to participate on the work and travel program, you will know how it works, in terms of jobs, selection, etc. We're going to talk about sponsorship process, to get the J1 visa. We're going to talk about booking your flights. So we assist in doing so, depending on the tier that you select. So we're going to discuss further about, booking flights, etc. We're going to talk about some new stuff regarding the program for the persons who are returning, want to go back on the program again. We're going to talk about getting a second job. We must talk about getting second jobs, for persons who want a second job. We're going to talk about online, the orientation. It will not be online, to be in person, as the orientation we had this year was in person. And we're going to talk about getting a second job, but we're going to talk about housing arrangement. All right, so guys, so there are, lots of stuff that we're going to discuss today. And I hope you guys, take all the information you want, to proceed, get the right information. You don't want to listen to what, hearsay. You want to get the information from the source. All right. So the first thing that we're going to discuss is the registration process. And my colleague Verlene Crooks will talk further on the registration process, what it is like, and how is it to register. So the first stage is registration TNC. So she will pretty much give you a summary of that first stage in applying for the summer work and travel program, which many of you should have been through and gone past already. All right, so this is what you should have done for all the persons who haven't done so. So go ahead, Miss Crooks.
All right, good night, everyone. Thanks for joining our live stream this evening. I hope this information session will be of benefit to you guys so you have a better understanding of how the program works, how the administrative process works, and just so that you can have, enough knowledge to move forward and be confident in the whole program itself. So, just to introduce myself, my name is Verlene Crooks, and I am the Director for Recruitment. So, I'm just going to give you a summary, as Mr. Charlton said, of the registration process, how to get started for the J1 Work and Travel Program. So, first of all, just to let you know, everything is accessible on our website, which is www.isatsjamaica.com. So if it is that you would like to schedule an appointment, if it is that you want access to the portal, the registration portal, payment procedures, program information, everything, including a live chat, is accessible through the website. So if at any point in time you're lost, always refer to the website. All right. Now, just to give you a brief summary of the registration portal, of the registration process, the first step, which is a mandatory step, is to do a terms and conditions consultation. Now, during this session, first of all, it's virtual and it's 15 to 20 minutes. It's usually held on Tuesdays and Thursdays at 11:30 and 1:30 respectively. If it is that because of school you're unable to make it during those hours, you can always contact us and we'll reschedule it for you. All right. So like I said, it is a mandatory session. And during that session, we pretty much explain the program guidelines as well as our policies at ISATS Jamaica. We also talk about placement, refund policy, visa denials, payments, anything that we know that will be of major concern to you, the participant. So it's very important to attend these sessions so that you can know what you're really investing in, and of course, to get more knowledge of the administrative process. So all of that is discussed in the terms and conditions consultation. Now, once you have attended that session, like I said, it's 15 to 20 minutes. It's usually not long. You can ask questions during that session if you need clarity on any section in the terms and agreement. Be sure to ask. And of course, even after the session, if you're still a bit confused about something in particular, please do not apply for a program unless you get clarity on that particular section, because we want you to be comfortable as possible signing up for any program that you're interested in. So once you have completed this session, you will be given access to the registration portal. So like I said, everything is accessible through the website, but we will send that link directly to your email so that you can apply for the program. Now, the registration portal, it's very user friendly. You have your own account, so you're gonna create an account on the portal, of course, username, email, and your password, so you can log in and out of the registration portal to make adjustments to your application or to get updates, whatever the case is. When you log into the portal, the first step after the terms and conditions consultation is to accept the terms and agreement. Now, so far, we have been getting questions as to how to accept it. You don't need to print it out or sign it, scan it, and return it to us. It can be accepted online via the registration portal. So once you log in, we will send you a step-by-step guideline as to how to accept it. And once once you have accepted the terms and conditions, then you can proceed to complete your application. So you won't be able to see the applications or for the various programs unless you have accepted the terms and conditions. So once again, it is accepted online via the registration portal. Now for the application form, very straightforward, you can complete it in less than 5 minutes, right? So it's important for you to complete every section that is relevant to your program. So being that this is the J1 work and travel program, if that's what you're applying for, you do not need to complete the teacher supplement or the intern supplement, just the main information required as it relates to your program. So that would be, personal details, your emergency contact, which your school details, if it is that you have participated on the program before. And of course, if you have not participated on the program, you don't need to complete that section. Another main important thing, at the end of the application, it is important that you sign it. Once you have signed the application, you can submit it. If it is that you're not sure about the information on the application and you think that you'll need to log in at a later date to complete it, the registration portal gives you the opportunity to do that. So you can save it and complete it later, all right? As it relates to document submission, we only accept documents in PDF format. I know some persons have concerns as it relates to the renewal of their passport, or they're not able to get certain documents yet. Totally understandable. If it is that you're submitting documents for the J1 Work and Travel Program, what we require now is your resume, your passport bio page, and your school acceptance letter if you're a first-year student, or a school status letter. If it is that you're a second-year student and you cannot get access to your status letter yet, or it's being processed, I know for some schools it takes approximately 10 days or less, totally fine. Ensure that you have your resume and passport bio page uploaded at least. If it is that your passport is being renewed, that's totally fine. Just inform one of us agents that your passport is being renewed, and at the moment you won't be able to submit that. We'll understand and will allow you to proceed with the registration process or your screening interview until you're able to get access to that document, all right? So again, everything can be done on the registration portal, including document submission. And we'll show you a video, I believe, during this live stream as to how to get that done. So there are various folders for each document. You just put them in the respective folder, scan them properly. If it is that you're having difficulties, you're always welcome in office to have one of us scan your documents and upload it for you. And of course, if you're having issues with the application form, you can come in office as well and we'll assist you with it, all right? So I just want to make sure I'm not leaving out anything as it relates to registration. As it relates to the requirements for the program before you get registered, you must be, these are the basic requirements. You must be a full-time student attending a tertiary institution. Full-time student for the entire academic year. You must also have a GPA of at least 2.0. You need to be able to comprehend English, speak and understand English, which by default, most of you guys speak English, that's our native language, and you must have a clean criminal record. So once you fulfill those basic requirements, you can register for the program, and if you would meet those requirements every single year, you can reapply for the program, all right? So those are the basic requirements for the registration process. All right, so I'm just gonna head over to Mr. Charlton. Would you like me to touch on anything else? No? Or do you guys have any questions?
All right, so we spoke about the registration process as Ms. Crooks touched on. But what I'm going to do, I'm going to invite Ms. Crooks to touch on just to lament further on the work and travel timeline, like very important months that we should pay keen attention to in submitting our documents and also in making our payments in a timely manner. So if Ms. Crooks want to touch on that a little bit further, cutoff dates for registration, and then we can jump into the other sections, which is financing and making payments to ISATS. So Ms. Crooks will talk further on the timeline, like deadlines for ISATs, and why is it important to submit application early. And then I will read a few questions that we have thus far from our viewers. So Ms. Crooks, you can go ahead with the timeline.
All right, guys. So as it relates to the registration process that I just spoke about, it's important for you to get registered on time. It is a time-sensitive program because we work with a quota. So as it is now, our deadline is the end of November. However, if we have reached our quota before November, then we will close the application process for the J1 Work and Travel Program. So it's important for you to get registered on time, submit your documents, do your screening interview, which is usually done after you have submitted your documents. Again, it's an online session and it's usually 5 to 7 minutes or less. So that's another part of the registration process that I didn't touch on initially. But yes, once you have submitted your documents, you can schedule your screening interview, and it's usually 5 to 7 minutes. So again, if it is that we have arrived at our quota before our deadline, we will have to close the program. And then you would probably just be on a standby list in the event someone drops out or we have additional spots. But that's usually how the program works. So it's very important for you to get registered on time. Again, you can complete the registration process in one day. We do have, a expedition process, so you can come in office and get everything done in one go. All right. As it relates to your screening fee and registration fee, your registration fee is $2,500 or 17 US dollars, and your screening fee is 50 US dollars or 7,500 Jamaican dollars. So usually your screening fee is paid after you have completed your screening interview and you're successful in that interview. So if it is that we can't accept you in the program for whatever reason, if you have hidden agendas or whatever the case is, then of course you will be notified via the registration portal to say that you have failed or passed the screening interview. All right. As it relates to payments, again, everything is accessible via our website. So if it is that you'd like to pay via card or you have probably a relative or friend paying your program fee from overseas, all of our payment options, they're available on the website. Now, it is important for you to submit your receipts once you have made any type of deposit. So if you pay $100 this week, $50 tomorrow, whatever the case is, it's important for you to send your receipts so that we can update your accounting portal. So everyone has everyone has a client's payment portal, so you'll be able to access all your payments and of course view your statements, your balances, all of that. As it relates to bank charges, those are also stated on our website, depending on which method you choose to make your payment. So we're transparent with everything, including charges. So ensure once you're making a payment, just visit the website and see how much the bank is going to charge you, or if there are card charges, whatever the case is. Again, everything is on the website. Now, the email address that you should submit your receipts to is info@isatsjamaica.com, and I'll leave that in the chat. Just in case anyone made any payments so far and you haven't submitted your receipt, I'll leave that in the chat shortly. So again, guys, it's important for you to register online. We don't only work with UWI or NCU, we work with multiple tertiary institutions right across Jamaica. So again, if it is that we arrive at our quota, we will close before November and you'll be placed on a standby list. All right, so I'm gonna allow Mr. Charlton to take over once again, and then I will talk about financing later on.
Yeah, I was muted just now. So, all right, guys, that's heard it from Ms. Crooks, where she spoke about the registration process. People, you see this type of program, if you really want to participate, you have to ensure that you apply from early, submit documents from early, because you don't want to wait until last minute when basically everything finish off. You know, people, no more agencies accepting people. So for us at ISATS, we're very keen when it comes on to time and also timely submission of documents. So the longer you take to do all your paperwork or to submit your documents, is the longer, you know, it might impact you negatively. So it might allow you not to be able to participate in the program because it's too late and we have reached our quota and there's no more space available to accommodate you, right? And we want everybody to get the opportunity to participate on the program, to go overseas, explore overseas, you know, learn what it is like to live in the US, explore the cultures in the US, etc. You know, you work a little bit of money, you can save money, and many persons have saved on the program, and it has helped them significantly regarding school expenses. You know, many people go and work one job, two jobs, and save them little money, and you know they can afford certain stuff when they come to Jamaica. It helped them, you know, lunch money to go to school, help them with hall fees, help them to pay a portion of their tuition, you know, and help them to participate again for the upcoming year. So many persons who may be on the program right now, you know, they're preparing to participate again because they have seen the benefits or benefits and know they want to know reapply and to continue exploring. You know, they want to go again and they want to go again and they want to go again, right? So what we're going to talk about right now is so Ms. Crooks touched on document submission. She touched on the timeline for the program, and we spoke about the registration process pretty much. So what we're going to touch on from my aspect is the job placement aspect. And before we get to job placement aspect, what I want to discuss further is program financing. So at this stage, many people don't have the money for participating in work and travel. You know, let us be blunt. Many persons right now are trying to see if them can come up with the funds to pay for work and travel. Now, let me explain this to everybody who is in that situation. Don't be discouraged by that situation, by not having the funds right now, right? Many persons have been in that stage and they have accomplished what they wanted to, right? So many persons didn't know it was possible to participate because they didn't have the first time. They didn't have the first money to pay registration fee. But many persons were very determined to, to participate in the program, and they, pushed themselves forward and they thrived, and they succeeded at last. So you have many persons who, they don't know how they might get the loan, they don't know who can lend them, chunk change from whomever, whatnot, etc. But first, what I want to establish here at ISATS Jamaica, what I must firstly say is that we don't encourage people to take loans for programs, right? But many persons have done so, and they have been successful in doing so, right? Because there are many hiccups down the road. You might not get a visa. There are many factors involved, and so we don't 100% encourage loans. However, there are many persons who have taken out loans. When I went on the program for the first time, I took out a loan and it was successful. So you have many persons like yourself thinking about work and travel loans. There are many companies out there and you can contact them, but most of them will say to you that you must first be accepted by the company or the agency. So if you're coming to ISATS Jamaica, we provide to you a letter to take to them to say that you are approved to participate with us. you have successfully passed your screening interview and we're willing to move forward with you and to accommodate you for the J1 Work and Travel program. So they need to see a letter of participation for any loan agency, right? So they need to show proof of use for the funds. So when you finish your screening interview at ISATS Jamaica and you have completed, all the payments that is due, for example, your screening fee and your registration fee, we can provide you with a letter of participation to say that you have been screened and you have been successful, and we're looking to place you in the Work and Travel program. Now you have a letter, you get a guarantor, you go down the loan agency and see if they can assist you. There are many loan agencies out there. You can do your research. Don't be laid back. You have to go hard if you want to go overseas. So you don't want to lay back and say, if it come, it come, or if it happen, it happen. Don't think that way. If you really want good, you know it's after run, right? So you sit down and you match out your finances for the program. So you say, all right, then program fee of 15 or 1600. All right. ISATS Jamaica don't require 100% payment. You have to pay at least, I think, 30% or 15% to secure your spot. In November, when we go to our job listing and say, okay, let me look for somebody's name in the chat just to make it look a little bit more personable. So let me say Malika Ferron. I will say, okay, she has been placed in a job. No, she'll receive an email that she was, she was hired, or the job was secured for her. Once the job is secured for you, then the remaining balance is due. So we don't want you to pay unless you have somewhat confirmed, or we have confirmed your participation in the program, right? So we don't want people to be paying monies and we're uncertain if they're going to be placed or they're going to be participating in the program. So it's pretty much a process that we at ISATS Jamaica take pride in, to protect you or clients. So we don't want persons to be depositing monies not knowing if they will be successful in being provided with a job or provided with sponsorship. So we need to ensure that we can fulfill everything that you seek, which is the sponsorship and to participate in the program. We need to know that we're able to do so before we can take your monies, right? So we create a process, with you guys in mind to protect your pocket, and losing refund, etc. Like want to change the process a little bit this year and to say, you know what, you guys pay a deposit right now. When you receive an email from placement, you have been hired and you're going to New York to Palms Hotel, and you're going to get $17 an hour. Then you pay a difference to secure your spot. So first the spot was secured, and now they get your job. You don't say it's secure, right? So we're just putting that measure in place just to protect you or clients, right? So as we say, finances, look for the companies out there. Many persons out there providing work and travel loan. Look for them and talk with them, see how the process goes. We at ISATS Jamaica provide loans, right? So if you come to us and you want, I think it's 50% financing. That's a huge amount. So if we can provide you with a 50% financing loan, you can always apply with us and pay your loan application fee, and it's easier with us, right? Because you don't have to go through loan, the participation letter, because everything is done from our office here at ISATS Jamaica. So you do the loan process. Once your loan approved, then you'll be secured in the program, right? But again, we have participants who have used our facility here at ISATS Jamaica because we have a loan facility, and we have persons who have used other companies or other facilities out there. There are many, there's a list of them, so you can contact them. FHC provide financing among other agencies out there. So contact them with a guarantor, get somebody who understands what you want, right? So you know that you want to go on the program, let them know so educate them about the program. Tell them that you're more than able to repay the loan, right? But you just want to start. You want somebody to provide a springboard for you to participate in the program, right? So for these type of program, people who love to ease it back, unlike, you're not the one to just make moves and be determined, more than likely, you have a very low chance to participate. These programs are normally for persons who are go-getters. You're not give up, and that's just the truth, right? Many persons who go on the program aren't rich, are persons who want, something out of life, and very humble people, who wants, to provide certain facilities for themselves and to, income for themselves and to pay for school, and they're very determined for success, and they're on a good path to success, basically. So ensure you get information from the right source, and you apply for the loan that you want to apply for. But what I'm going to do right now, I'm going to just scan through some questions that were asked earlier, and then we're going to move on to some very, very important aspect of the process, right? We're going to talk about many stuff, and after tonight, you'll be able to go ahead, apply, and you'll have all the information that you have been waiting for. All right. So I'm going to look at the comment section. All right. So somebody had asked, how does a placement assessment takes after, how long does it take after you have done the screening interview? So after your screening interview, pretty much, you will you'll be placed in a pipeline, which is our system for placement, job placement, and you'll be receiving many emails of different jobs that you might be interested in. You'll have an interview or do a placement evaluation, so we'll get to know your personality and say, all right, then you seem outgoing, you're well spoken, good command of the English language. So, and you're very outgoing personality. So you look like someone who can work in a theme park. So we look at the job that we have available and to see if you can match what the employers are looking for, right? So if that's not working out, then if the placement evaluation has failed and there's no available job for you, then we'll return your deposit. All right, because we can't place you, we can't provide anything to you. All right. So that's how to secure your monies, basically. So once we say, all right, then you're good to go. Placement might take within a month, after the process is started, but placement can be up to 6 months, right? But for work and travel, it's way quicker because we already have all the jobs ready to issue out to people. All right. So we have all the employers, all the job offers, them ready to place people in. Right? Just for us to do an evaluation of your personality and to see which job is, most suitable for you. All right. So somebody's asking a very important question also. What if you pay the screening fee before the interview? Will it be reimbursed? So so if you're doing the expedited process, and you pay your screening fee and a registration fee, based on the terms and condition of ISATS, both fees are non-refundable. All right. The regular process, if you want to do the regular processing of the entire work and travel process, we don't require you to pay a registration fee nor a screening fee until we have accepted you in the program. That's the regular process. But if you want to expedite the process and to do something quicker, that might cause you not to get back a refund. But you can definitely write a letter based on the reason why you were denied. You can always write us a letter, if it was a case where you didn't realize the eligibility, you weren't qualified for the program, and you applied for the program by mistake, or something was off. I would try to do 2 interviews with you. If the first one you failed, we do a second one with a different representative to see if it's the same thing. So you get chances to redeem yourself. But we want to work with the best, the best of the best, creme de la creme at ISATS Jamaica. That's just the truth. I'm being very honest with you guys. All right. So I want to work with the best of the best, the creme de la creme. I want to work with people who will represent us well and be ambassadors and represent their country well. Right. Hence, I will have the screening interview. All right. And somebody mentioned about the police record. So as you guys should know, is that persons who have participated in the program before, you can use the police record you had before. But for persons who have not and have not gotten a police record, you can ask us for a letter to help you to get the police record ASAP. Now is the best time to apply for your police record, where if you don't have to wait until a rush until in next year. So apply for the record, the police, the criminal record at the criminal record office, and to avoid all the backlog, to get things done quicker. All right. So I'm going to jump into some other stuff that we wanted to discuss. And again, guys, we're going to take all your questions. We're not going to ignore any questions this evening. All right. So at ISATS Jamaica, it's very easy to make a payment. If you've done your screening interview and you have completed your TNC, so you now know the process of applying for the program, you now know the terms and conditions of the program. So you first need to educate yourself on the work and travel program. Go on YouTube, look at different videos, see other persons, experience, and you say, all right, then this is something I'm really want to apply for. I'm really want to go upon it. Something really good. I've seen the reviews, and now at my time for travel, for go overseas, right? Making payments at ISATS Jamaica is easy, 1, 2, 3. Can be done online, use a credit or debit card. It can be done via paying at your accounts portal, and the pay reflect immediately on the invoice. You can pay at the bank deposit. You can pay at the ATM machine at NCBA ATM machines. You can pay in office. So if you want to avoid all charges, the best way to pay is in office with a card. All right. So at ISATS Jamaica, we don't accept cash payments. It's completely virtual. So we do cashless operation here at ISATS Jamaica in office. So if you want to make a payment, you come with a card, you pay a screening fee online or in person, whichever how you want to pay it, same thing. You pay your registration fee, and you go up on the portal now to apply for the program. So you have done the TNC, you've done your screening. Now it's the time for you to apply for the program. All right. So now what I'm going to quickly do is to go through how to apply for the program, like by screenshot. Easy 1, 2, 3. So I'm not going to take more than 5 minutes on this. All right. So I'm going to pull up right now that section. All right. So for persons who have completed your screening interview, so I've spoken about eligibility for the program, how to apply. Ms. Cookstock talk about document submission, everything that you need to adhere to have a smooth process moving forward. So you're done your screening interview, you're done your TNC. It's now time to go on the portal to apply or submit your application. Right? Now, how it works now. So first and foremost, you go to the I'm going to all right, give 1 sec. All right, so what I'm going to show you basically is that you have 3 circles behind me. I'm going to remove myself to let you guys see. So in the first circle, number 1, that's where you can go to submit your payments. Make payments and see your payments that you have made before. You can go to that portal to track your invoices, track your estimates, basically. So I'm going to remove myself now, and you're going to see that box. Of course, number 2, you guys are going to use that to log in. And number 3, down here, that's the place you go to live chat to the representative. All right, so I'm going to remove my. All right, so once you create an account on the portal, it's now time to go to your dashboard. All right, so I'm going to go to my dashboard now, and then I'm going to show you how it looks on the dashboard. So in the purple circle, you will see your user account information. In the black circle, you will see any notices from ISATS Jamaica. And in the green circle, you will see all the notes on your application. So please always log into your portal to check any upcoming information, any upcoming workshops or anything new that's going on. But even though we still send email, you can always go to the portal in case you're not receiving emails from us, and you can see notes or updates on your application. All right, so I'm going to remove myself for you to see that. All right. So now, what I'm going to do now is that I'm going to apply for a program. All right. So I'm moving very quickly because we have a lot of stuff to talk about. All right. So I'm going to click the um, menu bar to the left of my screen, and then I'm going to select application. So I'm going to remove myself, and you're going to see it just now. When it takes me to the application page, I will now see all the applications that I have already, and I'm going to click the button that says apply for a program. Or in fact, start a new application. Now, when I start my new application, sorry, when I go to the application or the different programs that we have to apply for the program that I want to, it will take you to a page to see the different programs that we have. And you guys are applying for the work and travel program, either self-placement or full placement. So I'm going to show you that page that you're going to. Of course, in the purple circle, that is self-placement. And in the green box, that's full placement. So you select which placement you want. And I'm sure you guys know self-placement is where you are providing yourself with a job. Full placement is where we are giving you both job and sponsorship. Self-placement people already have their own jobs, and all they need is a sponsorship. So in case you guys want to know the difference between self and full placement, once more, self placement meaning that you're finding a job for yourself. Full placement meaning that you're relying on us to provide all the services, so which includes job placement. So if you have a job already arranged, you can use self-placement. But bear in mind, if you're using self-placement, you will have to submit to us documents of that job. So we need to know that that location is safe for you to work, that employer is registered, it's a formal business, and you'll be paid fairly. So among other stuff that we do, so we have to vet your employer before you can work there. So you can't tell me say I'm gonna work on pizza shop and it's not registered or it don't exist. So we need pictures, So vet the employer before you can work there. Just like our placement, doing full placement. So we vet all our employers. So if you want to provide a job for yourself, you'd have to submit all the documents to us to ensure that you're going to work somewhere that is safe and you'll be working in a very safe environment and you'll be paid fairly. Now, the next page, when I select the program, so for example, we select full placement, we're going to go and we're going to confirm that we have met the requirements for the program. And we must check that box to say that we have met the requirements. Again, guys, I have many stuff to talk about, and this is just a portal. This is one phase of the entire process. Just to submit your application. So we're going to talk about jobs, how to get second job, different types of jobs that we have. And we're going to talk about the sponsorship process, J1 visa, etc. So stay tuned to get all the information. So this is where now I'm going to confirm that I have met the requirements for the program. All right. So the next stage is to submit my application. All right. So the application form, it has different sections. So it has the personal data section, emergency details, school details, passport details, placement details, donor information, J1 intern and training supplement, family information, family overseas information, that is, criminal background and previous experience on the J1 visa program. So every section you must complete, except if you work on travel, you don't need to submit the intern or training part. You don't need to submit the teacher exchange or to supplement for teachers. You don't need to submit if you don't have any experience on the program, you don't need to submit previous experience that on the program because you would not have any, right? So complete all applicable sections for you, right? So ensure you complete the personal data part that is mandatory to save your application. So I'm just going to show you how it looks. All right. So now that we have submitted our application, it's now time for us to submit our documents. So I'm going to show you where to go to submit your documents. First of all, you'd have gone to the menu bar, and then instead of clicking application, or instead of clicking programs, you will now click files. All right. So I'm going to show you guys. So when we go to now files, we're going to see an upload section. So you will click to upload the document. You select the document type, if it's a resume, passport, proof of address, with whatever that you're submitting. Select the application that you're submitting the documents to. So if it is that you label your application as John Brown, you select that application that you're submitting this document to this application belonging to John Brown, and you will see a list of your documents that you have submitted, a count of the documents that you have submitted, and also the number of applications that you have on file to your right, the right of your screen. All right. So guys, bear in mind that for the program itself, for the Work and Travel program, there are some very important documents that we need. And some of which you would have already known by looking at our website. All right. So those documents that are very important that you need to submit are, again, you can go to our website to see all the documents you need to submit. Many of which you don't really need right now, but you need to at least submit your passport, 3 passport size photograph, your school enrollment. If this is your first year in university, we just need your letter that you were your acceptance letter from school. All right. So if this is your first time at university and you don't have any type of verification as yet, you have not started school as yet, probably by this time you would have though. But in the event that this is your first time at university and you haven't started as yet, ensure that you submit your school enrollment or the acceptance letter from school. We need copies of your previous J1 visas for all the returnees. We need an updated resume. So your resume is important. So let me repeat the importance of what we need right now. Your passport, 3 passport size photographs, proof of enrollment, which is like your status from school, ID, or your school acceptance letter if you're a first time at university, if you're freshers, or and also your updated resume. So we need a resume, passport size photograph, proof of enrollment, and your passport. All right, guys. So ensure that you submit those documents for us to process your application. So guys, when you go to school Monday morning, you request some letter from school. Tell them you need a status letter. You need your status letter, or you need an enrollment letter, or you need your same thing, proof of enrollment letter, right? So you just need to we need to verify that you are a student at the school that you are attending, or the school that you're attending. All right, and it's very important to get that letter as soon as possible. I know for example, UE, you have to pay for the letter. I think it's $500. Some schools it's different pricing, but ensure you go to school and request that letter because we need to know that you're enrolled. They know the exact purpose that you're going to use the letter for. That is Work and Travel. All right, so request the letter and ensure you request it early because they might get a lot of story, can get it right now. You have to wait a couple weeks, you have to wait a couple months. Like, request it from early. All right, your transcript, we don't need it right now. The transcript is needed for embassy. Embassy is next year. So ensure this semester you put in all the work for at least get a 2.0 GPA. Otherwise, you can't go on the program. So this year, work hard for at least a 2.0 or over. Guys, aim for 4.0, but at least a 2.0, GPA to participate in the program. If you have a GPA of under 2.0, it means that we cannot accept you in the program, or the embassy will not grant you a visa, or you have a very low chance of probably less than 1% of getting a visa. All right. So easy 1, 2, 3. Your passport. If your passport's to expire, please hurry and renew it. All right. Um, if you're not on the picture, go downtown or go wherever wherever you live, and go and take some passport size photograph and submit them online, or you can come to the office first to upload them for you on our system. All right. Again, the transcript we don't need right now. The police record, guys, you can just prepare for request the police record from now. That's you just take it away, because that's one of the hardest things to get. So get it out the way just to move on with the process. All right. So I'm going to show you guys the documents again. All right, so guys, you just saw the documents that you need to submit. And Ms. Crooks spoke about the importance of submitting documents very early. So submit the documents them early so you can move on with the process. All right, because you don't want to be left behind. And I've seen cases where persons, were very, lackadaisical in submitting their documents, and they didn't submit things in a timely manner, and that impacted them, of course, negatively. They didn't get a chance to participate. And, sometimes the people, and they're sad that they want to participate, they have applied early, but they were moving very slow in submitting their documents. And, many of them got dropped out, and we just couldn't do anything, because there are persons who are waiting who have everything ready and submit everything. And with us, we don't move backward. We're moving, full speed ahead. So you guys have to move at that pace. But this year, because we need to secure embassy date, which we're going to talk about shortly. All right. So we have spoken about making payments. We talked about document submission. What I'm going to touch on very briefly is the job placement aspect. However, we're going to take a short break just to watch a video. Stay tuned, guys. We're going to take a short break just to watch a video of one of our participants who was in Florida, and she participated in the J1 Work and Travel program. So she's going to talk about her experience before going on the program. All right, guys. So here we go.
My name is Alice Bukal. I am a first-year student at Charlotte Teachers College.
My name is Shanil Gordon, and I attend the University of the West Indies Mona campus.
I came about ISATS via the ministry website, where they have all the list of approved agencies. And the reason I chose them was because of their close distance from where I live.
Okay, so when I was at school, one of my friends signed up for the Camp Counselors program, and he went to an orientation. And then he told me that ISATS had a work and travel program, and that it seemed to be very good. So I looked up ISATS on Instagram, and I saw that they were registered with the Ministry of Labor. So that was a plus for me.
Okay, for registration, the process was pretty simple. It was done online, very time efficient. So therefore, you don't have to be back and forth. You just go ahead and register online.
The registration process was pretty simple. I went on their website, and it was really a hassle because there were a lot of ads, there weren't a lot of other things popping up. It went straight to the point, and you could get what you were doing finished in a quick amount of time.
ISATS to my friends and also other persons outside of Charlotte Teachers College, because all of the members here are very supportive. They stuff, and they also push to the max to ensure that you are successful at the end.
The staff here is pretty friendly. They know their stuff. They take care of you. They make sure that everything is done and everything is done on time. And that is one of the most important parts of signing up for these programs, because it has a time frame that you have to adhere to. So they would ensure that everything is done properly.
For the staff though, they are very supportive. If you have any questions, they're always there to share a point or to guide you through the process.
Before this, I didn't know anything about the United States. I knew that it was a different culture, but I wasn't sure of the extent of it. So when I went to the pre-departure orientation, they showed me the different rights and what you should do, what you should do, and how to operate in a different environment and different culture. So it kind of opened my eyes to see what I'm actually doing.
The pre-departure orientation was very educating. The process was about informing you of your do's and don'ts, your rights as a J1, and also just to give you a little first-hand experience of what to expect when you go.
I will be working at the club at ISATS, and I'll be working in the golf shop there, the retail shop, and this is in Florida.
I will be working at West End, that is Hilton Head Islands, South Carolina. I'll be a floor attendant, will be pool attendant rather, will be helping out with our pool.
Thank you, ISATS. My visa was approved, and I can't wait to start my next adventure overseas.
Thank you, ISATS. I'm looking forward for a memorable moment this summer. Thank you.
Hi, my name is Shanice Duffus and I'm attending my University College. Well, I heard about ISATS Jamaica from a friend, and of course I did my own research, and then I decided to, move forward with ISATS. Of course, I'm going to talk about the fact that they were the most affordable company when I started doing my research and making my comparison. So of course that was the main reason for deciding to move forward with them in the first place. A step-by-step process of the administrative process is that, for me, I must say it's very easy. It was very easy. I mean, it was tedious because I'm a first timer, but it became easy because there was always someone there you could call, ask questions. I decided to sign up. I paid my fee, did a screening test, right? Screening, and then after I passed the screening, I moved on to the next phase of the whole process. And for me, even though it was a bit tedious at times, because there was always somebody to call on and ask questions, it became not so much of a frustration for me after a while. I would recommend ISATS because for me personally, I believe, apart from going on this program to experience something that I've never experienced before, I found friends and family. To be honest with you, the feeling I get when I talk about ISATS and how they were always there for me in the process, especially for a first timer, that is one of the reasons because I'm big on customer service. I've worked in customer service for a very long time. So it's natural for me to, wherever I go, whatever business I do, I look for somewhere or someone that is going to give me the best customer service. So with ISATS, I would recommend them just for that. The customer service alone, let's take out the fact that they are affordable and talk about the customer service. I could always call, even if I call 20 times. On the 20th call, someone will be there and someone will answer whatever questions I have, whatever concerns. I mean, I always leave the line feeling less stressed. So that's one of the main reasons I would recommend ISATS. Yes, and where I'm currently placed is Sandusky, Hawaii, and the program I'm currently on is the Summer Work and Travel program. Thank you, ISATS.
All right, guys. So you have heard it from some of our participants. About three of our participants who went on the program, and I think all of them have returned. I have one participant. She has some technical difficulties. She's trying to join the stream, but she's having some technical difficulties. But she'll be with us shortly. So, guys, as you know, many persons that's what many persons have said. That's one thing to work on or try to maximize on is customer service here at ISATS Jamaica. So we try to provide the best customer service ever. We try to answer all the calls. You will receive many calls every single day, receive many emails, have many live chat to focus on. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to jump to the comment section and to take a few questions from some persons who are here asking some questions. So, there's one from SC Darius. Where on the website is the TNC interview consultation? Guys, you can click the button. So you go to our contact us page and you will see a button that says schedule an appointment. And then you will search for TNC consultation. And then you will select a date that works for you. All right. So once you do that, you will receive an automated email with the meeting ID or meeting link to join the meeting with the representative. All right. I think it's done on about 2 days per week. So you can join anytime you want for those 2 days at your convenience. All right. Somebody's also asking how much is the program fee. So as you guys know, the program fee it ranges from 15. Sorry, it ranges from actually 1440, and it can go up to 1900. It depends on the tier you are selecting. So if you're doing self placement, it's 1440 for basic, and it's 1625 for platinum. All right. For full placement, that is where we provide the job to you. For the basic, it's 1635, and for full placement platinum, it's 1900. All right, guys. The main difference between, both packages allow you to participate in the program, right? There's no package that not allow you to participate. Both packages also give you all the important stuff for the program, right? However, for the platinum package, there's an add-on. So there are many add-on that you can opt in, purchasing, in your program fee. For example, program logistics. So when you depart, we arrange like a pickup for you from the airport to your job destination. So arrange all of those stuff. Your I-901 fee, which is your civics fee, that's mandatory for all packages, regardless, but it is included in your program fee. That's just a good thing. Passport pickup assistance. So we can assist you in scheduling your embassy date and also indicating that you want your passport to be picked up here at ISATS Jamaica. And also you can deliver, we can send your passport upon your request. If you want, first deliver it at your home address when your passport is ready from the embassy. All right. So if it is that you don't want those services, you can always stick to basic. In addition to the platinum package, you have a dedicated program coordinator. So you have a person who you can always call, and they will give you updates on your specific profile. They can help you specifically. It's a one-to-one assistance regarding your visa. It's a one-to-one assistance. The basic persons will get visa support, but it's only via telephone call. So you can always call us just to advise you what not to do or what to do on the visa application. And also we can do the final review of the application, right? But to sit down and to do it one-to-one together, that's in the platinum package. All right. The next thing is that Telegram live support, except Sunday. So every day there's a Telegram support for platinum people, and they can interact with other platinum persons. But basic don't get that type of interaction. You're only in a channel, so you can only look out for broadcasts, basically. If you're living far from Kingston, the platinum package is good for you also, because we can mail the documents. You can meet with your dedicated representative virtually and talk to them one-to-one regarding the process, and they give you that direct type of assistance. All right, so we're going to jump to the next question, which is I'm a full-time student and also a working person. Will that affect my application? It does not. So once you fulfill all the requirements for the program, so once you're a full-time student, once you are attending an accredited institution, then you can, and you're 18 years or older, then you can apply for the program. All right. So it doesn't really matter if you're working in Jamaica or not. All right. The next question is that how many payments can we make for the program fee? Is it divided into sections or is it a one-time payment? All right, guys. So you can pay your deposit for the program fee. You can always write to us indicating your payment terms. So if you want to pay us partially, you can, right? But you must ensure you pay, in respect to deadlines. So you can always make partial payment. If it is that you have $100 to pay towards your program fee, you put it towards it. The good thing is that ISATS Jamaica, you can always log into your account and look what one with your finances. So you look for your portal, the accounts portal, and you look how much money you pay so far, how much remaining for your something. You can download the statement, you can download the payment, then you can get the payment receipts there. So you can do everything there. So you can always make the local payment towards your program fee. All right. And again, guys, don't wait until last minute. All right. All right. So the next thing is that I can't access my portal because I haven't paid the registration fee. Should I be seeing that on my portal? Yes, guys. So if your portal access was not enabled, then there's a chance where you will not be able to access the portal. So that might be because you haven't done like a screening interview, sorry, a TNC for us to give you access to the portal. So you must do a TNC, and then once you're in the TNC, just call her or tell her if they haven't done it before to enable your access to the portal so you can go ahead and apply for the program. It's an easy 1, 2, 3. Normally, the reps would have done it immediately after the TNC consultation. All right. The next question that I want to touch on some more of it. All right, so next one. All right, so I think I've answered most of the questions that were asked. I think someone was also asking what is the difference between full and self-placement. So full placement, again, guys, as I mentioned earlier, is where the agency, ISATS Jamaica, provide you with a job that's full placement. And self-placement is where you have your own job and all you want from us is assistance is getting your J1 visa, which is sponsorship, which we will discuss further on. All right. So what I'm going to do now, I'm going to welcome a past participant who is Miss Bartley to share her experience. I'm not sure if she's ready now to share her experience, but I think I have one more question just before Miss Bartley comes. Is that can part-time students apply? So guys, you have to be a full-time student to apply for the program. You can't be a part-time student. You have to be a full-time student to participate in the program. All right. So that's one thing you guys need to note. You must be a full-time student. All right. So I'm not sure if Miss Bartley is here with us, but give me 1 sec. So again, guys, you must be a full-time student to participate in the program. All right. So she's still having some technical difficulties, but she will definitely join us shortly. She's just trying to configure her microphone. She's having audio problem. All right. So what I'm going to do is welcome Miss Crooks again to talk a little bit about booking your flights at ISATS Jamaica. We can assist you to find the cheapest flight available. So she'll talk to you about because she has been on the program before and she has booked many flights before. And she knows, different suggestions. You don't have to book return flights. She can tell you all of that. You can book one-way flights. different flights, where to leave from, etc. Just to tell you different stuff that you can bear in mind in booking flights. And afterwards, we'll talk about the sponsorship process, which is very, very, very important. Uh, Sponsorship. So that's the most important part of the entire J1 visa process, J1 visa sponsorship. So I'll tell you how it works and what will cause you not to participate in the program. So I'm going to tell you everything. So here from Ms. Crooks, where she will talk about booking flights and also getting a second job overseas. All right, guys, so welcome back, Ms. Crooks.
All right, hello again, guys. So, like Mr. Charlton said, I'll just be giving you guys some tips as it relates to booking your flight. Now, guys, please remember your main priority is school. So, as much as summer is approaching, we're all excited to leave the country. Please remember you still need to complete your courses, your exams, and of course, pass, right? Now, usually, based on how the year goes, and of course, it's really dependent on your school as well, it determines when you can depart. Now, I know for some schools, exams usually finish around April. I think for UTech students, May for UA and NCU students, and I think maritime students usually finish a little later, which would be around June. No, you cannot book your flights without a J1 visa, first of all. So, like Mr. Charlton said, we do assist you with the visa application. So, once your visa is granted and you know when you will complete your exams, you can go ahead and book your flight, right? Now, some schools, I'm a former Pelican, so I can only speak for UA. Usually, I believe exam schedules are posted on the school's notice board. I know for some schools they have drafts, final drafts, etc. Once you're aware of your final exam, you can position your mind to book your flights around that time. So if it is that, again, speaking for you students, US students, I believe, finish exams around May 20th or the 21st, the latest. So you can book your flight thereafter. Hopefully for this year, like Mr. Charlton said, we are trying to secure embassy dates as soon as possible. So if it is that, you'll be going to the embassy in as early as February. Then once your visa is granted and you know when you will complete your exams, you can book your flight right after. It's important to try and book your flight as early as possible because the prices, they do fluctuate. And here at ISATS, we don't have any links with any airline. We can't borrow the price. We can't do that. So as soon as you get your visa, just book your flight right away. All right. And it's important for you to submit your travel details to us as well as your employer so that they can prepare for your arrival. Some employers, they do have airport shuttle. They'll get you from the airport, or even before departure, they will explain to you how to arrive at the place of employment or your housing or whatever the case is. So the logistics will be discussed, and that is why it's important for you to attend the pre-departure orientation. As a matter of fact, it is mandatory. A register will be taken and you will have to sign to say that you attended the pre-departure orientation. So the logistics as it relates to airports, traveling for the first time, what to pack in your suitcase, all of that will be discussed at the pre-departure orientation. As it relates to the days, like specific days when to book your flight, I believe the best days to book your flight would be around Wednesday to Saturday. But again, you have to track it. So you can use Google Flights. There are many airline websites, JetBlue, American Airline, Spirit, Caribbean Airline, whichever airline you choose, you can track the dates, probably put on a post notification or something so you can be notified when the prices fall so that you can benefit from a cheap airline cost, right? Also, because we know that many of you guys, it's probably your first time traveling overall, you can come in office for us to assist you with flight booking. And I think for the platinum tier, it is a part of your program package. So at least you get that additional benefit for us to assist you with your flight booking. All right. Again, guys, it's important, and that is why we keep stressing, get your application, your registration out of the way so that you're not left behind. Because when you leave everything for last minute, of course, it's gonna affect how long, or it's gonna affect the flight cost. So the longer you take, and probably it's March or April before you even go to the embassy, or even May, of course, the flight prices, they're gonna skyrocket because it's summer, it's in demand, and that's just how it goes. All right. So again, we don't have any links with any airline. So please, please, please submit everything on time. Please answer your phone, answer your email. If it is that you have to sign a contract or you have something outstanding, we do communicate with you in time so that you can get it done and so that you're not left behind. So the longer you take to fulfill your part, the longer it's gonna take for you to even go to the embassy and get your flight booked in time. So again, you cannot depart before your exams unless it's virtual or whatever the case is, depending on the school. I know some schools are still virtual or partial face-to-face or whatever the case is, but ensure that you know when your exams will be finished so that you can book your flight thereafter, if it is that you're face-to-face. If it's virtual, of course, you can work around that, but please keep the dates in mind and talk to your faculty rep, whatever the case is, so that you can be notified when your last exam is. All right. All right, so as it relates to getting a second job overseas, now the benefits of being placed early, again, you have to fulfill your part. Say, for example, you're placed in Long Island, New York. It's important, and this is a tip, please research where you'll be placed before you go on the program. You're going to know way beforehand before you take that flight, all right? So if it is that you're gonna be placed in New York, for example, and say you're working at a resort, go on Google. Everybody has access to social media and Google and everything. Go on Google, type in the name of the resort, look in the vicinity for other nearby places that you can work a second job. So probably you'll have nearby supermarkets or coffee shops or hotels or a theme park or wherever. I know some persons had some questions as it relates to will you be hired? Once you have your DS 2019, which is your work permit, it allows you to work in the United States, which includes obtaining a second job. So sometimes the employer will ask you, do you have a social security number? Do you have a work permit? All of those documents, yes, you will have them. So you can secure your second job. Some persons do that if they're familiar with the area. If not, at least you can write down the nearby places. So as soon as you arrive at your destination, you can take a walk or a bus ride, and before the season picks up, apply for the second job so that you have your second job secured before the heat of the summer comes around. Also, it's important for you to research nearby supermarkets, because you will be living and working in the United States for approximately 3 to 4 months. Research where the nearby train station is, or bus stop, or if Uber rides are available, transportation, that's important. Do they have a bicycle nearby where you can probably buy a bicycle and ride it to work? Or is there a nearby laundromat or gym, whatever the case is? So ensure you research where you're going to be placed before you hop on that flight. That really, really helps a lot, all right? So again, guys, research before. Um, make a note of when your exams will end so that you can book your flights around that time and get the best flight price. Sometimes, well, the average cost for a plane ticket is, well, it's really dependent on where you're going, but it can range from like 300 US all the way to 900 US, depending on how far you're going and when you book it. And that is why it's important for you to book your flight as soon as you get that J1 visa. You don't even have to wait to get back your passport. Once you have your passport number, book the flight. All right. Once you know that your visa is secure. But please do research before you go to your final destination so that when you go, you're not lost and confused. You have an idea of how the place already looks. And you know where you can probably go and get a second job and all of that. Some persons, they even contact the employer before they arrive and, you know, let them know that they're a J1 student, they'll be coming. And some employers, they have a online application, so you can even submit your application before you arrive. But I would implore you to probably wait so that you can get your schedule for your primary job first before you take on a second job, because whatever jobs you have thereafter, it cannot affect your primary job. All right. So if for example you're working for your primary job, say it starts at 10 o'clock and you come off by 4, you can say, all right, I come off by 4, probably I can go home, get a 1 hour sleep, and then I work from like 6 to 10 somewhere else at a pizza shop, or I don't know, you know? So that's how you can work around your schedule to accommodate a second or a third job. We're not sending you to enslave yourself, and please do not have high expectations, especially because it's your first year. Um, for your first year, it's definitely gonna be a learning experience. So don't overburden yourself or get discouraged because you wanted to make 30,000 US and you only made 15. Don't do that. All right. And please remember, it's a cultural exchange program. So don't enslave yourself or have high expectations. And it gets better each time you go on the program. So if you never work out the first year because it was a learning, you know, experience, you know how to go about the program again for the second year and the third year or the fourth year, depending on how many times you participate. All right. So that's another tip. Don't have high expectations. My first year wasn't perfect and it got better every single year thereafter. All right. So I think, Mr. Charlton, I think we could probably answer some more
Yes.
questions or probably a
Oh,
part.
before we get to the question segment, what I'm going to do, I'm going to welcome Miss Nicolette Bartley just to talk a little bit about her experiences, and then Miss Cooks will just answer the questions you guys have in the chat section. But Nicolette Bartley was one of our participants who participated in the program, the J1 Work and Travel program. So she will talk about her experience, and you know, she's just trying to share her experience and to see if it might be beneficial to you guys. All right. So let me know, add Miss Barkley.
Can you hear me?
Yes, Miss Bartley, can go ahead. So tell them about your experience on the Work and Travel program, what it was like for you, and you just returned from Jamaica when? From the US when?
I returned the first week of September.
The first week of September. So let's tell them about your experience. How was it on the program from start to finish? See if you can inspire somebody else to just go on the program and to explore overseas. So tell them about your genuine experience on the program. Because I know you know you have experienced a lot, and it wasn't easy for you to participate on the program. So let's explain to them about your experience.
Okay, good night, everyone. My name is Nicolette Bartley. I'm a third year University of the West Indies student, and I had my first J1 experience last summer. Um, so I'm going to try to start from the top. I don't want to leave out anything. So I started my process a bit late. I didn't start until January
and I didn't start until January because I was still making up my mind about what agency I wanted to use. And one of my friends, she was using ISATS, so I decided to go with ISATS as well because she was ahead of me in the process, so she would have given me advice on what the next step is, etc. So I started the process by doing my screening interview in January, and that was successful. The questions asked in screening aren't anything detrimental, just basic questions getting to know you. So I did that in January, after which I started the process of paying for my program fee. I did this by program financing through ISATS. So they paid a portion of my program fee and I paid the rest. I think they paid 1,000 US and I paid 600 US, and my program fee would have been covered. So I did an interview for the loan about 3 weeks after the screening, and then the following week I did an interview with my first sponsor. So I did a first sponsor interview. That one was not successful. And then the following week I did another sponsor interview. So if your sponsor interview isn't successful, it's not the end of the world. ISATS provides you with the opportunity to do another interview with another sponsor. So I did the second, and that one was the following week. So everything happened really fast because I started really late. So everything happened in like, so I did the second, that one was successful, and right after that we did the placement. So the placement it wasn't a big deal. It was just a list that was sent out with the offerings for the different locations for where you're going to be placed, and I chose South Carolina. After that, I went to embassy. The embassy questions typically surround GPA, ensure that your GPA is at least 2.0, because a lot of persons got rejected for having low GPAs. They asked what courses I'm doing, the year of study, if I have any kids, um, just basic questions. So they're pretty basic questions. So just provide them with basic and succinct answers. They don't care about your life story. Just answer the questions and ensure that you know how many family members you have abroad, because they might ask you how many family members you have abroad, where they are located. So just be honest. Um, so the embassy interview was successful. After which I started looking at flights, but I got replaced to Pennsylvania because there were some with the place in South Carolina. So I got replaced to Pennsylvania for Hardee's restaurant, a fast food restaurant, and um, I left like the following week. When I reached the US, I got the updated DS form. So the DS form is a form that basically outlines your job, the job that you will be doing, and your personal information. So that DS had to be updated with the job that I would be doing, because the first one had South Carolina as the location, but as I said, I was replaced to Pennsylvania. So the updated DS had that information, and so my sponsor mailed it to me through my employer. And about 2 weeks after that, I got the Social Security card. That took a while for me because my boss got sick. So that kind of slowed the process. So I got my Social Security card. After which I applied at a second job at McDonald's. So I was working at Hardee's and McDonald's. Um, yeah, and I worked mornings at Hardee's and nights at. Sorry, I worked mornings at McDonald's and nights at Hardee's. So if you really want to make money, I recommend that you work 2 jobs, but you have to ensure that the hours they don't negatively impact your primary job. So ensure that your hours are flexible enough so that you can accommodate 2 jobs. Don't just jump up and do 2 jobs. You have to ensure that your hours are flexible because it shouldn't affect your primary job. At McDonald's and 4 to close at Hardee's, which was 10 o'clock. So that's a lot of hours. So it's really stressful. It can be stressful. So you have to ensure that you're taking care of yourself, ensure that you buy your grocery, ensure that you're cooking. Don't just eat fast food because it will mess you up. Because we're not used to a lot of food as Jamaicans. We are cook food. So ensure that you buy grocery, find some time to cook, and ensure you're taking care of yourself, you're buying your fruits and you're drinking your water. Um, for tips, I would recommend that you ensure that you do your check-ins. Don't forget to do your check-ins because you can be sent back if you're not doing your check-ins regularly. That's the last resort because typically the sponsors reach out to you through the employer to find out why it is that you're not doing your check-ins, but still ensure that you're not missing your monthly check-ins. And my second tip would be to ensure that you maintain a good relationship with your co-workers and your boss, because you just don't want a negative or a bad tension in your workplace because you're going to be there like almost every day. So ensure that you have a good relationship with your co-workers and your bosses. Also, try to go up with friends because it's pretty easy to get homesick. So ensure that you try to go up with friends, or at least try to go up with Jamaicans so that you don't get homesick. Um, you can have a good time. Because I went up with a lot of Jamaicans. It was like 7 of us working in the same restaurant, and 7 of us also did the same second job. So it was really hard to get homesick because I have these people around. So ensure that when you're going up, you at least try to make friends with somebody that's going to the same place that you. Um, yeah, that would be it for my tips and for everything. Yeah, guys have any questions?
All right. So you guys heard from Nicolette, one of our previous participants on the Summer Work and Travel program. So guys, you can always post your comment down below. If you have a question for Nicolette, you can just drop them down below. You can hear from other participants who went on the program before. So we'll be more than happy to answer any questions you have. She'll be with us. So, guys, I have a question here from Abigail Hutchinson. So, is the vaccine mandatory for registering or applying? So, ISATS Jamaica, we personally don't require you to be fully vaccinated. However, to enter the US, you would have to be fully vaccinated, right? So, as for today, October 2nd, you are required to be fully vaccinated to participate in the work and travel program. In fact, most sponsors right now are requiring that you guys are fully vaccinated to process your application. All right. So ensure you get the second shot, and you're fully vaccinated to participate in the program. It's just that some employers want their work environment to be safe, and they don't want any health issue or breakout in their work environment. So it is required that you are fully vaccinated to participate, or even to enter the US. You have to be fully vaccinated. All right. So guys, once more, you can always post your comments in the comment section down below. If you have any questions or concerns, just post them down below, and we're going to try our very best to answer all the questions you guys have. All right, so the next thing that we're going to move on to, so you have heard it from Miss Bartley. The next thing that we're going to move on to and to talk further on is the sponsorship process, which Miss Bartley somewhat spoke about in a nutshell. But what I'm going to touch on, guys, is the process to get your J1 visa. Now, you pay a screening fee, you pay a registration fee, and you have completed your application online. You have done your placement evaluation, and you've done most of your interviews. Now, the next step for you now is for us to place you. All right. So many of you in this year, in the coming months, you'll be doing different interviews with your sponsor and also your employer. All right. So your employer want to get to know who you are before they can hire you. Or some jobs, only the sponsor give an interview. And for some jobs, only us at ISATS Jamaica give an interview. All right. Once your interview is successful, then you pay your remaining balance on your program fee because you'd have already paid your deposit. So at this stage, persons should have been submitting their documents and making their deposits. At this stage, deposits, right? November is when they know when to pay the remaining balance, even though you should budget that. But right now, what is due to ISATS is just a deposit. There are many students out there who have already paid their full program fee, but what is required is just a deposit. Some students just pay full just to avoid doing deposit again, right? And it's faster for us because we move faster persons who have paid full fee. But it's not like we separate people, but it's just that some persons decide to pay their full amount, but it's not required for them to do so. What is required is just the deposit. So you pay your deposit, and when you get a job placement, it's successful, then the remaining balance is due. The remaining balance is due. Once you pay the remaining balance, and your placement confirmed, and you get a job, I know exactly where you're gonna find go work and how much I get paid. I know your employer name. You know exactly the state where I go and the county or the job location where it is located. Once you know all of something there, you're Gucci, right? So the next phase would have been sponsorship, which is to get your J1 visa sponsorship from the sponsor that we work with at ISATS Jamaica. So you're going to get a mail that's going to come here at ISATS Jamaica from overseas with your DS form, right? I don't have one with me, a copy just to show you how it looks. But you're going to get a piece of paper with it's like a DS form that outlines where you're going to work, your first name, last name, your passport number, where you're going to work, how much you're going to get paid. So once that paper come in office, we're going to prepare a nice little folder for you to carry to embassy. So at ISATS Jamaica, we have our folders that we give all our participants to carry to embassy. So in that folder, we will provide everything to you that the embassy needs. All the documents to you that embassy will need. All right. So I'm going to give you a look of how our folder looks. So you're going to have your folder, and you're going to have your DS form in the folder, and your passport, everything, and they're going to get a folder like this. All right. So ISATS Jamaica, we have our folder for all our applicants they take to embassy. Now you go to embassy, you go for your interview, we prepare for all the interview. All right, so we tell you how to conduct yourself in the interview. We'll have sessions like these to give you embassy preparation. All right, so you get sponsored. Before you even get the sponsorship interview, we tell you how to prepare yourself for the sponsor interview. So they're going to ask you, hi, how are you, John Brown? What you have been doing in Jamaica? Tell us a bit more about yourself. Are you a good worker? You must be willing to work because you need a good job. You need a good paying job. So let them know so you're a good worker. You can take on any task, to work overseas, and you're willing to work overtime if required, etc. All right. So you get a good job now, and they'll pay $17 an hour. You go embassy, you get a visa, and Miss Crooks talk about booking flights. So you can't book a flight until you know when I get my passport from embassy. Because embassy take about 5 days maximum or 7 days maximum to get your passport back here in office. And you can't book flight without knowing when you get your passport. So sometimes they have delays, but you can't book your flight until you know exactly when you're going to get back your passport because you need a passport to travel, right? So we help you from all the stages involved. We keep you guys side by side and keep you updated on everything new, and there's nothing that will leave you behind on, right? So you get a visa in January or February or March, are you ready for go foreign? Your program confirmed. Can you get a stamp on your passport? Are you ready for go foreign? No, in already yet. Because you can't book flight yet until they got the orientation session. All right. So don't jump up and go and like say, okay, you have visa now, you're done with ISATS. Can't go like that. Right? So you have to go to the orientation session. Now, the orientation session is where you'll get all the information regarding the program. And in a nutshell, Ms. Crooks will tell you what is discussed at the orientation session. I think you're muted, Miss. You can go
Okay.
ahead.
All right, like Mr. Charlton stated, the pre-departure orientation is a mandatory session. And like I stated before, a register will be taken and you will have to sign to say that you attended the pre-departure orientation. It's not only stipulated by us at ISATS Jamaica, but the sponsor as well. So when you sign that document to say that you attended, we have to send that form or that register overseas to the sponsor to let them know that you attended. Now, at the pre-departure orientation, a lot of things will be discussed, especially if it's your first time traveling outside of Jamaica. It's important to take in everything, all right? So at the pre-departure orientation, we discuss everything as it relates to traveling, getting settled in the US, living in the US, and how just to navigate the US overall. So we discuss topics like what to pack in your suitcase. A lot of you guys may not know the weight requirement for your suitcase, what not to pack, like drugs or I don't know, weed, bomb, whatever the case is. So little things like that we discuss with you. What to pack, what not to pack. Airport arrival, what time to arrive at the airport, how to check in, what documents to present at the counter when you arrive at the airport. We talk about a little briefing as it relates to, on the plane, seat belts. There will be, depending on the airline, of course, they will have instructions as to how to put on your seat belt, how to, in the event of sea landing or whatever the case is, all of those little safety features, they're discussed. So we give you a heads up as to, we give you a heads up about traveling in itself, as well as customs. Now, of course, when you get to customs, you will have to do another mini interview. So we guide you where that is concerned and some of the possible questions that will be asked at immigration. As it relates to settling in the US, we also discussed that, how to open a US account. Working overseas, your employer is not going to send your paycheck to Scotia or NCB. They don't know what that is, right? So we assist you and suggest banks that you can open your US account at, how to obtain your social security number, how to, get settled in terms of finding nearby supermarkets depending on the location, staying healthy, as Nicolette said. You have to take your vitamins, how to just be independent while you're on the program, because you're not going to be there with your parents or your older sibling. Nobody's cooking for you. So we assist you in just getting mentally prepared for the 3 to 4 months that you'll be away from home. All right. Another thing that we discuss is payroll. How to, complete your tax forms, because you will be paying taxes. We also discuss tax returns and, just all the little details as it relates to living and working in the United States. We also talk about socializing, if it is that you go to a restaurant, tip etiquette and just being mannerable, because we Jamaicans, how we socialize is a bit different. And some things can come off a bit offensive because it's a different culture. So little tips, we provide you with little tips as to how to socialize in certain environments and how to just pretty much navigate the US, if that makes sense. So a lot of information will be provided. And of course, if it is your first time traveling, more than likely you are going to have a lot of questions and concerns. So like I said, it is mandatory for you to attend the pre-departure orientation. It's usually about 2 to 3 hours. And of course, refreshments will be provided. So it is a little session, but it's engaging, it's fun, and you learn how to get settled while you're on the program. All right. So I think that's pretty much a summary. Of course, a lot of other things will be discussed, but that's just a synopsis of some of the topics that we do touch at the pre-departure orientation.
All right, so Ms. Crooks basically summarized the entire process regarding the orientation with you guys is mandatory. So if you're living in Montego Bay, the session you will have to come to Kingston. If it's Kingston, it's being held, or wherever the location is. Um, this year we had it at UCC, I think. I think we had at UCC this year, and depending on how big the group is for this year again, we might have it there or somewhere else. But guys, it's a mandatory session. So guys, if it is that you're at a stage, you don't know where you're at in the application process, always give us a call. Tell us where you're at now, and then someone will tell you exactly what to do next. So if it is that you don't want us on the entire stages, call us. I've done my screening interview just now. What should I do next? And then we'll tell you exactly what to do next. You have done this, I will tell you exactly what to do next. Right? So call us if you don't know exactly where to move on to what stage next, and then we'll assist you in navigating through the different administrative process. All right. So somebody asked in the comment section about housing arrangement, and I just want to speak a little bit on that. So at ISATS Jamaica, we don't send participants any and everywhere. So we need to know that wherever you're being placed, is that it is safe, it is close to different amenities that you will need. It's close to a police station, it's close to a hospital, it's close to grocery stores. So we ensure that wherever that you're placed on the program, it is safe for you to live, it is livable, and it's you're able to carry out your function as a regular human being in wherever you live, right? So we don't just place you in a regular housing, we ensure it's a good bed. You have if you have your condition kind of hot during the summer, ensure you have all the different the basic stuff, food, shelter, clothing, the basic stuff to carry on the program. Most of the housing that we have, is shared housing facilities. So you'll be sharing with a friend from Jamaica. So ensure you're a people's person again, you're outgoing, and you're not gonna have a big master bedroom with your own bathroom, and you're not gonna have them big queen size bed, the Euro size mattress. So don't prepare for that. So prepare to live in shared facilities, right? So if you're looking for those stuff, this program might not be fit for you. All right, in terms of housing. All right, so guys, it's dorm style housing. So that's how the program runs. Normally, employers provide housing, and sometimes wherever you're placed in a job, housing is provided in full placement package. So if you're doing self placement, you'd have to find your own housing arrangement. All right. So we have spoken about orientation. We have spoken about housing arrangements. We have spoken about getting a second job. We touched on booking your flights. We spoke about the sponsorship process. We touched on job placement. We touched on document submission. We touched on making payments. We touched on program financing. We touched on work and travel timeline. And we have talked about the registration process, and we heard from Ms. Nicolette Bartley, which is one of our participants from the Work and Travel program. So we're going to jump into the comment section. I'm going to invite Ms. Cooks once more to help me answer the questions we have here in the comment section. Guys, go ahead and drop your questions right now, because we're kind of winding up stuff a little bit. So we have one question here. So I have a question here from Sasha Gay. So is it that I can get your program? So she's asking if she cannot participate in the program if she's not fully vaccinated. So that is correct. So to get your U1 visa, you would have to, in fact, not to get the visa to be vaccinated, get sponsorship. Most sponsors are asking if you're vaccinated, and it's for all J1 programs because they know that to enter the US right now, as we speak, you have to be fully vaccinated to enter the US of the A. All right, guys. So if you don't want to get vaccinated, we don't force people to get vaccinated, but to participate in the program, you'd have to be fully vaccinated, which is getting both shots of the AstraZeneca or the double dose vaccine, or if it's Johnson and Johnson, then it's a single shot. So based on the dosage amount to be fully vaccinated, please ensure that you find it necessary right now to get vaccinated. All right, so we're going to move on to our next question. Somebody um, is asking a question. Ms. Crooks, if you mind reading that one.
So is the visa fee included in the basic package fee? So no, it is not. None of our programs actually include the visa fee. So separate and apart from your program fee, that's one additional fee that you will have to factor. So that would include visa fee, airfare, and probably housing deposit, security deposit. Not all employers, or depending on the housing situation, not all of them will require deposit, but you can just add that in there in the event it's required. So those are the three fees that are not included in your program package: visa fee, airfare, and your security deposit, and of course your pocket money. That's also not included.
All right, so we're going to move on to the next question. Um, Let me just scroll. We have a lot of questions here. So somebody's asking Miss Crooks, so who will pick us up at the airport? So most times, the employer normally have arranged transportation for you guys. If you have the platinum package, we assist you in getting transportation from the airport to your house or the accommodation that you are going. But usually, you're in the US of the A, wherever you're going, whichever airport that you're at, always research the place that you're going beforehand. All right. So look how the bus system run. Look how the train run. What time the train runs. You know what time your flight lands in the US, and what time the next train will be available, because you have to go through immigration and customs. Depending on. So I normally budget an hour for all of those
Airport.
channels, yeah, airport channels, and you get out just in time. I know some persons also are having problems with the booking link. I'm going to post the booking link in the comment section, so you can always click the link to schedule your TNC or to schedule your screening, whichever stage you're at. All right, so just post it in the comment section. All right, so we're going to move on to another question. Uh, or set an appointment. All right, guys. So just most of you would have known is that, uh, well, many of you have known that today is the last day to secure $200 from your program fee, which is absolutely a lot. And we will not have any more discounts like that moving forward at ISATS Jamaica for this season. All right. So if you guys have missed early bird and you have missed the early
Flash
stages
sale.
of purchasing, the only way to secure $200 from your program fee is by paying your screening fee and also your registration fee before the end of today, which is before 11:59.59. you know, so to pay your screening fee and send us the receipt before the clock strikes tomorrow, meaning 11:59 before it go over to the point 1 second, make it 12 next day, you know. So the only way we can honor that $200 credit off your program fee is if you make that payment today. So Many persons already have secured that spot. I've seen them the receipts coming in because they know that it's very cheap, and it goes for both tiers. It can be for the uh
Basic
the
or platinum.
that is correct. You can go for the basic or the platinum tier. All right, guys. Um, to secure the deal once more, somebody's asking if you can only pay a registration fee for tonight. That will go against the conditions of the coupon. So you don't have to pay both fees because the person's already started to pay both fees already from Friday. So you guys might want to act on that deal and pay a very cheap program fee, that you might not find anywhere else. All right. Can you be filed for and apply for the program? We have had participants, Ms. Crooks can discuss that further regarding persons who have been filed for.
All right. Yes, if it is that you're being filed for, and I know there are various stages to filing if you're migrating to the US, that is. It's also important for you to be honest with us as it relates to the status of your filing or what's really going on. Um, it's also important for you to be honest on your visa application and at your embassy interview. Because remember, if it is that you declare that you don't have any family members in the US, no one is filing for you, lie, instant denial. Because the US embassy knows before probably you even know. All right. So yes, it is possible. But once it is that you're a US citizen, you cannot participate on the program. But if it's during the process, no problem because you still have your Jamaican status. But the program is only for non-US citizens. So if it is that you know that you're a US citizen already, it's important to check with your parents or whoever is filing for you, just so you can be sure and you can communicate with us and we can advise you as it relates to the process for the program. All right. So yes, it is possible, but if you're already a US citizen, you cannot participate.
All right, guys. You guys know exactly how our portal looks, right? You can see from this video how it looks, just in case you're wondering. All right. All right, guys, so head right back to that portal and you can submit your application if it is that you have not submitted your application as yet. And again, guys, if you don't know where to move on to next, you can always call us during the business hours or send us a email and ask us where to move on to next. We'll be more than happy to assist you guys. And in the event you guys are questioning to make deposit, again, you're only required to make a deposit towards your program fee. You're not required to pay full, you're not required. But many persons have done so just to fully secure their spot because they're a bit confident that they will get through on the process, right? So you have many students who are repeating the program and who are just applying for the program and they have gotten the finances from their friends or family and they just made full payments. That's fine, right? But for those who can't afford to make full payments, you can only make a deposit based on the amount is of your program, based on the amount it is for your program fee. Okay, so once again, guys, we have shown you all our testimonials. You can always visit our YouTube page and to see all our testimonials. We have different programs. We don't only go to the US. So if you are looking for like an internship overseas in the US, in the UK, if you're hospitality student and you want to explore your profession overseas, like in culinary arts, at a hotel, working as a front desk or bartender, etc., we can provide internships or training program for those persons. We help with visa applications. If you're looking to apply for a visa to Canada, to the UK, to the US, or anywhere Schengen visa, we can assist you in doing so. Right. So for every program is a one-to-one. For every program is a deposit. At ISATS, we don't take a lump sum money, right? So we help you financially to, kind of break it down, payment plan, etc. So we try to assist you, and everything that we do is with consideration, of you. So go ahead, apply for the program, secure the $200 tonight. as best as possible, because you will not have a deal like this, and you will never know how much, that 200 is a lot of money to save and to
That can
get
go towards your visa fee.
that can literally pay for your visa fee. So you will see the $200 credit on your account on the accounts page when you make the $67 payment, which is your $70 for registration and $50 for the screening fee. All right,
Right.
guys. So we're going to go one more time to the comment section, just in case you guys have any more comments or questions or concerns. Where do I send proof? So, guys, once you made your payments, just send the proof to us via email, or you can always send it through the live chat, or you can send it through social media if it is that you made through social media. But the channel where to send your payments is to info@isatsjamaica.com. That's
Right.
where you send all your payments. All right. It's info@isatsjamaica.com. That's the email address you send your payment receipt to. All right. So for those who want to write it down, there you go. You can write it down. Just send a receipt there, and the representative will update your account. But ensure that you use the email address that you're applying for the program with. So whichever email you're using, ensure you use that email address. And that will be the email that we use to communicate with you. That will be the email that we'll use for your accounts, your finances with ISATS, and that will be the email that will be used to send to the sponsor. All right. So you always have one email, and you can always ask us to delete an account that was created in error. All right. All right, guys. I think we're winding down for this evening. We're going overtime. We've been 4 minutes overtime. So we're going to go for a small break and then wish you guys a good evening. All right, guys. Yes, We are in partnership with Apply Board. So if you guys want to study abroad, we can assist you guys in studying abroad. You can share this opportunity with your friends or family who want to participate in any programs that we offer here at ISATS Jamaica. We're more than happy to welcome them on board and to assist them in exploring new horizons. All right. So I'm going to welcome Ms. Rush just to say bye. All right,
Bye,
guys.
guys.
So, guys, once more, just go to our website, schedule your appointment, ask us how to move on, ask us how to make payments. You can go to the payment page for our website and to secure your $200. All right, guys. So, have a nice evening and thanks for considering ISATS Jamaica. Bye.